YouTube is Rico, man. I'm back with another video, man. Y'all see what we got going on. We got a 16-year-old killed 9 days after release from Juvie in Florida, so y'all already know what time it is. But if you're brand new to the channel or you've been watching videos on the channel but you're for some reason not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now, man, because y'all that's brand new to the channel. We on the grind of 5K, but y'all that's on the channel been known we on the grind of 5K. So tell your friends and family if you can, if they enjoy type of content like this, and hopefully they hope and come be supporters of the channel. It'll help us to 5K. And also don't forget to leave a like and comment on the video to help this video get recommended to a larger audience of people, and hopefully bring in new supporters as well to help out with that. Other than that, man, we finna go ahead and start the screen record. That started. We finna start this video now.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 10 out of Jake, but I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on a 16-year-old that was released from the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice, only to be killed 9 days later.
And what I want to say about that real quick is, man, I just seen and heard about a lot of cases where people get out of jail or whatever the case is, and they end up getting killed literally right after. Because some people I done heard got right out of jail, literally got killed with less than 24 hours. So this definitely ain't nothing like a surprise to me and stuff. But it's crazy that this happened to a 16-year-old, because the other people I heard it happened to are way older, like in their 20s or 30s or something like that. But to a 16-year-old, that's just crazy. But hey, man, when people really out there to get you, they don't waste no time trying to get you if they catch the opportunity at the right time. But other than that, let's continue.
16-year-old Namaike Clark was released February 4th, 2021 after 20 months in juvenile custody. He came home to a pandemic with the hopes of becoming employed to take care of his mother, only to be killed 9 days later.
And it's sad, man. So he pretty much did his time, and it sounded like he was kind of going in the right direction with the mindset that he had. Pretty much get out, change his life around, get a job, take care of his mother and stuff like that, which a lot of people grow up wanting to do for their mother or their fathers and whatever the case is and stuff like that. But it's just unfortunate that he had to go ahead and lose his life due to whatever he did in the past, because like I said, he obviously did something that really made somebody want to get at him and stuff. So once they seen the opportunity present itself, they ain't waste no time taking the chance and doing what they did. But R.I.P., but let's continue.
I would like to thank the Circle of Brotherhood Peacemakers for everything that they have done for me. We just went and got my son out today, and I'm looking forward for him to do good.
My name is Mikey Clark. I just came home. I did 20 months. I appreciate them for coming to get me, and I'm trying to get a job so I can take care of my mama. I want to be a firefighter.
And he basically chose a career that you really gotta have respect for somebody that's wanting to do something like that, because a firefighter at the end of the day, they go through a lot of stuff, a lot of stress, and face a lot of obstacles that could really like pretty much take your life at one point, and also cause you to pretty much lose your mind pretty much if you don't know how to handle all these situations at once, because you pretty much a first responder to anything crazy that's going on with a fire at the end of the day. So it's like you got the thought of your family, friends, and people you care about pretty much worrying about you and stuff while you're doing this type of career job. And you just never know at the end of the day how a situation is going to end that you had to go do your job for. So you just got to be blessed and keep your head right and don't focus on the wrong things at the wrong time. Because like I said, when you doing stuff like this as a first responder to a dangerous situation and you don't know how crazy the situation might be and stuff, you could definitely be your downfall in a situation like that, because if you're thinking about the wrong things and focus on the wrong things and you ain't really focus on what you actually there to do, you're gonna lose sight and track of what you're supposed to be doing and make a big mistake. And that's something you definitely don't want to make, because you also responsible for those that's around you, that's with you doing the firefighter thing. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be cautious, not only yourself but others around you and stuff, because like I said, one big mistake in a situation like that could change everything in anybody and everybody. So yeah.
County, Florida, Saturday, February 13th, around 8:30 p.m., Namaike approached and confronted a man driving a white pickup truck at a drive-through ATM. In the midst of confrontation, the driver pulled a gun. A second man that was with Namaike pulled a gun, and shots rang out. It's being reported the man in the truck fired at Namaike, while Namaike's associate started firing at the man. And as the gun smoke settled, Namaike was dead, his body laying on the drive-through pavement. The man in the truck was also shot, bleeding, but still alive, and the second shooter was gone. Police arrived on scene, transporting the man to a hospital with a gunshot wound to his chest in stable condition. A yellow top was placed over the 16-year-old's body as police tried to process exactly what took place and were unable to determine if the driver or the second shooter was the one that fatally shot Namaike.
And I think in the thumbnail, I believe it said robbery attempt. So actually, it is kind of crazy that even though he did want to make a change, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, I really believe he did want to change, but at the same time, being a 16-year-old, that's still early, and a lot of jobs and probably the things he needed to do as far as really going into the firefighter thing, he got to be at least 18 and up and stuff. And then it's just a lot of factors into the situation at the end of the day of his mindset going forward ever since that recording where he said that. So like I said, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. I believe he really did want to change, but y'all already know how it is coming from the streets and stuff, and basically that's probably what you mostly always know majority of your life and stuff. You really got a hard time transitioning out of that lifestyle, even when you go to jail. Sometimes not everybody can go to jail and come out and just automatically you change their life around. So that's what I'll just say, long story short.
Blood could be seen along the sides of the victim's white truck that was later towed away from the scene, and even more blood left on the ground. A police helicopter flew over the area searching for the second shooter, but was unsuccessful. And while police have yet to say if robbery was the motive behind this incident, they did announce they are looking for the third person involved, who is believed to be armed and dangerous. Now, even though the police haven't said the motive behind this was robbery, it sounds like a clear-cut robbery. And I say that because they don't know who killed Namaike, which means his associate must have been facing him. So what I'm assuming happened was when this truck pulled up at the ATM, Namaike went to the driver's side door, his associate went to the passenger side door. As the driver pulled the gun on Namaike, his homeboy started firing, and it could have struck either the driver or his boy. Either way it goes, it sounds like a clear-cut robbery. And I know so many people that have gotten out of prison, programs, whatever, and jumped into some crazy shit. Because what people fail to understand is when you take kids off the street and you put them in the Juvie, you put them in the juvenile programs, level programs, this isn't to be confused with JIT camps, youth offender prisons. Youth offender prisons is state prison. You go to the adult reception centers, you're just in a JIT dorm, which is 14 to 24 years old. This is where the TOHs are happening, locks and socks, pokers, all that craziness, right? Level programs, level 4s, 6s, 8s, 10s. You can do, I think, at a max like 3 years inside of the level programs. They don't have weapons like that. TOHs, they're not doing that. They're probably checking people and flipping kids, jumping them, but it's not called the TOH. The TOH is a term that comes from state prison, specifically the JIT camps. These level programs are known for bumping, for JITs beating the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? They're fighting in there, and it's where a lot of the cities start to click up. Tampa versus Orlando, Tampa versus St. Pete, Miami.
And that just goes to show, man, shit, even going to jail sometimes, people will say maybe if this person go to jail, maybe it'll be a good thing for them and they'll come back out a different person. Sometimes that ain't the case, man, because basically what he explaining is he went from a bad situation to a whole nother bad situation at the end of the day. So he could say at this point now that I'm seeing what he's saying right now, we can say during that video, maybe he said that just because he wanted to make his mom look good and the people that got him out look good, basically acting like he really was finna change, but in reality, he probably really wasn't. But like I said, I will give him the benefit of the doubt, even with this information right here I just heard. So I'ma still say I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. At the end of the day, like I said as well, just because you come out of jail, it don't mean you just gonna automatically make a big change. Sometimes it takes time for people to actually change, no matter even if they did go in jail for a long time and get out. Because we done seen people go to jail for years and get out and do something even crazy to go right back. So at the end of the day, there's no for sure telling. He was only 16, so really don't know if he really was going to change or not. But like I said, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, even with this new information right here. So yeah, man, sometimes going to jail always ain't the best thing for a person if y'all want that person to change.
Miami versus Broward, Miami versus West Palm. You got all these different places that are beefing with each other and going at it. Everyone is clicking up, and you're thrown into a violent environment. What happens in this environment is through kids testing each other, you find out who's predator and who's prey. And simple things like running up on someone and taking their shit, which could be an armed robbery out here, or running up and beating the shit out of them, a strong arm robbery. When you do that in juvie, in a level program, etc., even in prison, you're punished with confinement. They'll throw you in a cell. I know that in Tampa, in juvie, and dub, you fuck somebody up, you'll do like 3 to 5 days in a cell and come back out. Prison, 30 days for fighting, right? But you rob someone in prison, it's nothing. You know what I mean? If you got a knife, you're not going to get hit with a robbery, DI. You're going to get hit with a knife, which is 60 days in confinement. So what happens is, because these kids are able to keep on doing these things, these violent acts that go really without any serious punishment because they're used to it, when they're released, they do the same exact thing. The only difference is...
And too, that's why a lot of people want to see changes in the justice system, because people be thinking, yeah, you go up in there, you might change and stuff most of the time, but most of the time it's really not the case. You go up in there, you might come out worse or something. You might come out even worse and do even more crazier things than you did before you end up in jail the first time. So it just depends at the end of the day on that person, because there's some people that, like I said, will go in, do what they did with that time and stuff, come out and change. Some people can say that they did that. Some people really can't say that. So it's just at the end of the day depending on that person and their mental and the path they choose to take at the end of the day.
You rob someone on the street, now you're facing a life sentence. And in this case, he faced a death sentence. This is an unfortunate case because even though he was killed, he isn't the victim in this case. And that alone tells me that whatever information the police haven't released, they know what time it is. They're going to see the fucking surveillance video. They're going to speak to the man that was shot. They're going to figure out what it was behind this that happened. And that is why I feel like the system in itself in Florida is such a trap. Because I can go to prison in Florida and cut someone's face open, do 60 days for cutting them, another 60 days for having the razor, that's 120 days in confinement, and I come back out. But you do that same thing on the street, you're facing years and years and years. And I feel like the system fails the jits, especially the young ass kids, 14 to 18, that are inside of these level programs. You can be 19 in a level program if you were sentenced to it before 18. You see what I'm saying? It fails these kids because we've seen so much evidence in video after video of not only the kids being wild as fuck, but the staff beating the shit out of the kids and the staff running fight clubs. And the only...
And it's crazy because it really is stuff like that going on. Shoot, even in movies we done seen stuff like this going on. So you already know that it's really going on in real life half of the time. So some of these prisons really is bad. Like, it really is some bad prisons, and you got corrupted officers and everything running those prisons and stuff. So it's just crazy that realistically we all want to see a change with the justice system, but we already know it really ain't gonna happen, because at the end of the day, you don't know who really is corrupted and who's not. And then on top of that, to the public, you might be looking at a corrupted officer right in front of you and not even know it. So they can put out whatever image they want to put out when they on camera and stuff and doing the press conferences and all that. At the end of the day, like I said, it's hard for people to really know who's a legit cop, pretty much trying to actually serve the law and also abide by the law just like everybody else, versus those who willingly breaking the law even though they know they're supposed to be pretty much setting an example at the end of the day to the public and stuff. They're in the prisons doing all this crazy stuff, and people will get out and talk about it, but at the end of the day, half the time, don't nothing happen to those officers, even when they get exposed. Sometimes it take evidence, like video proof for them doing stuff like that. But when there's stuff going on in prisons, we all know that they know how to work their way around the cameras and stuff like that. So it's rare that you'll probably even catch an officer in the act of doing stuff like this at the end of the day. But like I said, I bet you there's going to be a lot of people in there that's going to be able to tell you stories about certain officers that's in there. So we already know that nothing really much ain't gonna change out of this situation, man. The justice system is just completely fucked at the moment. So we can only hope that eventually it'll get better, but when, just don't know. But we already know it's no time soon.
People that is affecting is the kids that are inside of these programs. When you're making them fight, when you're using them to victimize others. This is staff that's doing this. You're creating beasts. And when they get let off into society without a fucking leash, they're gonna snap, they're gonna bite, they get punished, you go unpunished as a fucking staff member, and the cycle continues. Now, what's even worse about the situation is the group that interviewed him and his mother when he was released, the Circle of Brothers Peacemakers. They're a community activist group. They help people within their own community. They go against gun violence. They help people with clothes, food, everything. They try to redirect the youth. They're doing everything in their power, right? He had the right people on his side. He had the right people in his face right after his release. And sometimes that isn't enough to stop someone from going and putting themselves in a dangerous situation, right? At the end of the day, no matter...
The way I look at it, man, you can have the right person that needs to be around a juvenile like this, or anybody that's in jail, prison, etc., etc., and you can have them talk to the people and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I feel like the way they look at it is, if they don't actually see no results and actions happening after these meetings and talks and stuff like that, whatever you want to call it, then 9 times out of 10, they really not going to change or try to change. Some people, I would say, probably need something to actually happen for them to go ahead and say, all right, maybe this talk with this person and stuff like that does pay off and stuff, and I can actually change my life around for real. Just because we talked about it don't mean it's it's necessarily gonna happen at the end of the day is basically what I'm trying to say. So it's definitely gonna sometimes take more than just talking to happen for a person to really see the benefits of these conversations with those people that's trying to help them actually change their life around.
No matter how young you are, you have to accept some form of responsibility for your own life, and you have to understand the actions that you commit, the things that you do, can get you killed or put in prison for the rest of your life. I had people in my life that were trying to redirect the type of lifestyle I was going after. I didn't listen to them. I went to prison. If you have anyone in your life that is trying to make that positive impact on your life, don't shut them out. Listen to what they're saying. Learn from what they're saying. And if you can't learn from that, learn from this. Learn from videos and examples like these of kids like you that die like this. It's 1090J. I'm rocking with Yali.
And that's pretty much the end of the video, though, man. But yeah, like I said, some people, you can talk to them as much as you want to, but at the end of the day, if ain't no actions actually happening when y'all doing these talks and stuff, or whatever the case is, then sometimes 9 times out of 10, maybe even 7 times out of 10, I'll say there's a probability of that person really going to change their life around just because they talked to a person that was trying to help them change their life around. Like I said, though, even like he said, it's pretty much going to take time and stuff. Just because you get these people in front of a person that's doing bad and stuff and trying to help them, at the end of the day, it's up to that person to choose and figure out what they want to do with their life and stuff. If they want to actually listen to that person and do better like they want to. But it is what it is, though, man. Y'all comment down below how y'all feel about this situation and stuff like that, and as well as how y'all feel people that's in the jail, prison, etc. should be able to change their lives if they were put around the right person. Like, do y'all feel like they should automatically be able to, right then and there to change, or do y'all feel like y'all agree with me as well, like it's gonna take time, even though they do want to change, but realistically it takes time to really make that type of change? Y'all just let me know down below. But that's the end of this video, man. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're brand new, man, and I'm gonna see y'all later on with more videos. And don't forget to tell your friends and family about us as well, and hopefully they become supporters of the channel and help us to 5K. Other than that, see y'all later on. Peace.